Hello, I'm Howard Osgaard from the Hortis team. In this clip, we're going to give you a short introduction in how to get started with Hortis. Before we begin, I would really like to thank you for joining the Hortis community. So when you signed up or were invited, you should have received an email to activate your account. After you've activated and verified your email address, your dashboard would look something like this. So what we will do now is to record our first accession and cover some of the fundamentals. If you are on a mobile or on a tablet, you can follow the steps, but the layout will be somewhat different. You will see here on the left, you have the navigation bar, and then when you want to start to record an accession, you go up here to click Create New Accession. So the first thing we need to do is to select our taxon. Obviously, this is an empty database, so we can just start typing. So I have today an agave, and it's an agave macrocantha. And then here I can then say I want to create this new accession. So this list here will give you all the names you already have in your collection. And then what we do now is that we'll actually spell check against the taxonomic backbone. And in this case, I can see that I probably haven't spelled macrocantha correctly. So I'm going to just see, oh yes, it was actually macruacantha. And then that's the name I want to use. So I'll pick that. And what we'll do now is that we'll get also all the taxonomic details from the backbone. In this case, Plants World Online, you get classification, red listing, etc. So we're happy to go ahead with that. And then this plant we got in December 24. So I'm going to go and backdate this. It was on 12th of December. So I'm just going to quickly do that. And then we need to fill out the provenance. We can cover in other videos about the distinction between these, but this is just to get you started. And then the supplier was from the agave nursery. And you can see here now, I'm just typing it in. And then I'm going to add a new donor here, supplier, agave nursery. And then there are other options here. I'm just going to go and use one tag. We don't have any tags yet. So this is a way to structure your data. So in this case, I'm going to put it into the succulent collection. So that's a new tag for me. Tags are super handy that you can record on accessions, taxa, and plant material. And then I can record other information as well. I'm not going to go through that now. I'm just going to add the actual plant. So for those of you who are new to accessioning, each accession is basically the information about where you receive the material, and then the plants themselves will then be where they are located and basically their current state, etc. So I'm going to change the date here to the 12th of December for the plant material as well. And then I'm going to put it in a location, and I'm going to put it in so I don't have any location. I can just start typing, but I'm just going to click new location instead. And then this is in the climate house. And here you can either just give it a name or name and description. I'm just going to go for a bit of a structure here. So it's the climate house bed 01. And then these things can be changed later, of course. Climate house bed, something like that. So now I created my bed. Okay, and then we can also add tags here. We're not going to do that. But what I would like to do is to also map the bed. So here we're going to bring up our garden, and I know that the climate house is over here. So it's in the middle of the climate house. I'm just going to put it there. And then the last thing I want to do is to also add a few photos. So I'm just going to bring up some photos here. That is coming. So I have that. So if you're out in the garden, you can of course take a picture. So here we go. Added some photos, and I can now add this material. And if I want to add more plants, if there's multiples, I could just duplicate here. Okay, so now we can create the accession, and then we suddenly see our dashboard changed. I can then the beautiful here now is that we get then three sort of viewpoints of your collection. We have the dashboard, we have the map, you can see our plant here, I can click on it, and we have the list, which you can then use to filter and sort. The last thing I want to do then is to just show you a last point where we can go into a record and use this navigation up here to jump from, now we're at the material, we can go to the accession and we can go to the taxon. And here we can see then all the details was provided, in this case from the Plants of the World Online, with the distribution and life form, etc. So that is all about getting started. So now you should be in the position to record all your accessions and fill up your data set. So thank you again for your watching and for your support. And if you have questions, do get in touch with us. So remember, capturing data is sharing knowledge.